I talk to disbelievers. What I don't understand is, like you said, well, I'm a good person too. I do good deeds. They say. And they say it's karma. Karma is basically the knowledge of the unseen, basically. So if you're an atheist, and you believe evidence-based, how could you believe you'll get something back, basically? This is the bit that gets me, that I don't understand. How do you respond to that? You probably come across this a lot more.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Anyone else?
I think just the basic, because I know the question was about like why don't the non-believers actually like stuff like the question.
So we will get a lot of questions, even from Muslim youth, for example. Sheikh Yani, they do so much good deeds, in fact more good deeds than the believer, and yet they're going to be potentially punished and the believer's going to be saved, and why, right? And sometimes it's not selfish, sometimes it can be selfless, sometimes it can be genuinely wanting to help others and not to show off. Whenever we use or whenever we give an explanation, it's always good to give an explanation that people can very easily relate to. And the explanation I always give is, how many mothers here? Those mothers? No? Kimberly, you are, yeah? Okay, so you'll know. A mother goes through difficulties almost instantly at conception. In fact, I would say even pre-conception, when the body is preparing for conception during puberty and menstruation begins. Immense difficulties, adjustments, biological changes, restructures of even the physiology of ladies is complex and is difficult and is a hardship, isn't it? And then at conception, things immediately start to change, hormones immediately start to readjust, and difficulties begin from day one, right? The chemistry, the biology, everything's starting to change, the physiology is starting to change yet again. Then you get into, for example, the second trimester, and now the changes become much more apparent. The baby is starting to get all the nutrients, mother gets all the leftovers, yeah? You start to get fatigued a lot more as a result of that. The body temperature is not adjusting properly as a result of that. You're starting to find difficulties just in your day-to-day motions, day-to-day activities, day-to-day functioning day-to-day. Then the third trimester, and now your ankles start to swell. There's pain in your ankles, there's pain in your back, there's headaches, there's neck pains. You think, okay, what I'll do is, normally you would just lie down and rest, but now lying down is a problem, isn't it? Because you're pregnant. So you need those special pillows to try and make you more comfortable, and so it's a 24-hour difficulty that you start going through that ordinarily you would not start to go through. And then you get something called the Braxton Hicks, yeah? And then you start getting the contractions. And so severe are the contractions, in which the closest they can say that a guy can experience is kidney stones, and even that is nowhere near it. And then the difficulty of the birth itself, so much so that, a lot of the ladies start taking the epidural. So what I wanted to emphasize is the difficulty, is the hardship, is the pain. And then you go through the actual birth. And then when you think, just when the hardship is all over, the baby is now out and I've now had my pregnancy, you think all the hardship is over. That's when you realize, no, actually the hardship has just begun. Some ladies go into depression, hormone changes. You think that breastfeeding is easy, you just put the baby there, it'll know what to do, right? No, the anguish and the agony and the difficulty that ladies have just to breastfeed. And then you have to breastfeed them every 3 hours or so. And then every time the baby coughs, the mother runs by the baby's side. Every time the baby sneezes, the mother runs there. Every time the baby has a fever, the mother's in anguish. The baby has to be changed. The mother is always there. Yes, the father should help as well, but the mother's predominantly always there. The mother sees the baby as nothing but their priority now, and as the age of the child grows, the difficulties and the challenges changes, yet the mother is there for her every step of the way. At the age of 18, this child has a brief little argument with the mother, and then turns to the mother and says, "Who are you? You're not my mother," and walks away. How would that be? How would that be? Sister Kimberly, getting emotional, aren't you? How would that be? To say there is no God who has done infinitely more than a mother has done to a child, no amount of good deeds and actions can make up for that statement. Does that make sense? So, verily, to the believer, the good deeds will be recorded. But it may be that for some reason, the message did not reach them correctly. They could not come to a proper analysis through a realization through the analysis of the signs and wonders in the universe around them, also pointing to God, and there may be an exception there, Allahu A'lam. But look at the gift of Iman that we have been given, that is priceless, that endures the confines of this finite reality, moving into the next dimension of existence. The greatest way that we can show appreciation for that is by doing as many good deeds as we can and sharing this gift with as many people as we possibly can in the most beautiful possible way.